Has your CoE been cancelled? Or maybe you've received a warning and are not stressed about what's next? If your CoE is cancelled, you could have just 28 days to make a move. That's not a lot of time, and what you do next could either protect your future in Australia or put everything you've worked for at risk. Let's break it down. Hi, I'm Desti, and welcome back to the Education One YouTube channel. We've been helping international students in Australia for years, especially those dealing with tricky visa issues. In this video, I'll walk you through why CoEs get cancelled, what it really means for your visa, and most importantly, what realistic options do you have to fix the situation. Let's start with the basics. So, how does a CoE get cancelled in the first place? There are usually three main reasons. First is unpaid tuition fees, such as you've missed payments for too long. Second is poor attendance from skipping classes or failing to meet attendance requirements. Failing behind academically for not meeting course progress standards. Many students don't realize how quickly these things can snowball, but once your education provider reports it, immigration gets notified, and that's when the countdown begins. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much. Because once your CoE is cancelled, things can move fast and the consequences are serious. First, you may no longer meet the conditions of your student visa. Second, immigration can be notified and your visa could be at risk of cancellation. Third, in the worst case, you might be required to leave Australia. And all the time, money and effort you've invested could be lost in an instant. That's a lot to take in, but the good news? You're not out of options yet. So let's talk strategy. After a CoE cancellation, you have 28 calendar days to act, and during that time, you have two clear choices. The first option is to leave Australia voluntarily. If you decide it's time to return home, that's okay. But here's something important. Don't wait for your visa to be cancelled by the immigration. Instead, cancel it yourself after you've returned home. Why? Because it keeps your visa history clean, which makes it easier to apply again in the future, whether it's for studies, a visitor visa, or something else. The second option is to stay and apply for a new CoE. If you want to stay and continue studying, it's still possible, but that's a process. You'll need to apply to a new education provider, get a new letter of offer, explain what went wrong, and show that you're ready to turn things around. And sometimes you need to get a release letter if you're still within the first 6 months of your main course. It's not easy, but with the proper support, it can be done. And that's where we come in. Alright, let's quickly go over some of the most common questions we get from students in this situation. The first is, what can I do if my CoE is cancelled but my visa is still active? After your CoE is cancelled, you can only stay in Australia for 28 days. Your visa remains active during that period. It's your window to either depart or secure a new CoE. If you do nothing, your visa will likely be cancelled. Question number 2. Is it hard to get a new CoE after one is cancelled? The difficulty depends on why your original CoE was cancelled and how quickly you respond. You'll need to demonstrate that you understand what went wrong, you've taken steps to address it, and you have a clear plan to succeed moving forward. To apply for a new CoE, you'll typically need to find a new education provider that's willing to accept you. Next, submit a new application and receive a letter of offer. Third is possibly obtain a release letter from your current provider, especially if you're transferring before completing the first 6 months of your principal course. Next is prepare a statement detailing why your CoE was cancelled and how you plan to avoid repeating the same issues. Finally, pay any required tuition deposits to the new institution. Each case is assessed individually. Some providers may be cautious about accepting students with a history of cancellation. However, if your application is well prepared and honest, many are still open to giving you a second chance. Alright, question number 3. Will my university warn me before cancelling my CoE? In most cases, yes. Based on Standard 9 of deferring, suspending, or canceling the overseas student enrollment, the registered providers must have to notify the overseas student in writing of the intention to suspend or cancel their enrollment. Tell the overseas students to seek advice from the Department of Home Affairs on the potential impact on their visa if enrollment has been deferred, suspended, or cancelled. And not let a suspension or cancellation take effect until the overseas student have been given a chance to complete an internal appeal process, unless their health or well-being or the well-being of others is likely to be at risk. This means you typically have the opportunity to explain your situation or appeal the decision before the cancellation takes effect. However, the length and process of appeal may vary depending on your institution. So, if you receive any warning, act quickly. Ignoring it or delaying your response could reduce your options significantly. Look, dealing with a cancelled CoE is overwhelming, but you're not the first, and you're definitely not alone. At Education One, we've helped hundreds of students through this exact situation, and we can help you too. Click the link in the description to book a free consultation. We will review your options and help you take the next step confidently. If this video helps you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need it too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.